What's up there, YouTube? As promised, I'm creating this video as a wrap up, so to speak, of the time that I spent in Corsicana, Texas at Swift Transportation Truck School to get my CDL. Um, Generally, I try to keep my videos at 15 minutes, but this is going to be a lot to cover. So it's going to go longer than that. And so you may want to see it in two sittings. I don't know. But let's get right on it, okay? I got me a little sheet right here that I'm going to try to keep up with the notes from, okay? Um, First, who should you contact if you decided that you wanted to go with Swift? When you go to the Swift website, there's gonna be a link there where you're gonna fill in some information, and it goes to a recruiter, and the recruiter's gonna call you. Um, uh, Once I'm done with my process, if I'm happy with my recruiter and so far, that's been fine. I'm going to um, give a wrap up of my next phase, which is the orientation. And under that video, I'll put her information, and you can use my recruiter. Just let her know that 50 plus sent you, and she'll know to make sure that she don't tell you no bullshit. And that's the number one problem with recruiters, is getting truthful information, because their job is to get you to go to the school. And once you got there, they've done their job, and they get paid. So they'll tell you whatever they want to tell you to get you there, as long as you believe them. It's up to you to do the research, okay? But my recruiter hadn't told me any crap. If everything turns out good, I'm gonna link her information to, and you guys can use her. At least I can't promise what another person's gonna do. I can only promise you what she did for me, and she didn't lie. Okay. Um, what should you take to school if you have an option? Okay, Corsicana is of course in Texas. Okay, and if you live in the vicinity, I would most definitely, or if not even in the vicinity, if you live in Texas and you want to go to Corsicana for your schooling, if you can get there with your own wheels, man, drive, drive, because I'm telling you, it's the freedom of being able to go to the store when you need to go get something to eat, or you know, when school's out, you don't have to sit there and wait on the bus if you're out 30 minutes before somebody else, before the bus leaves or whatever. I mean, it's a big deal if you can drive your own car. Okay, so the one thing to take is a vehicle, if you can take one. Okay, um, take your 5 days of clothes, get used to it. Possibly 6 days. Okay, get used to that 6 day of clothes, because that's what you're gonna take when you're on your mentor's truck. So be in a habit of rotating your clothes in and out and washing them. Okay. Um, the hotel is a decent hotel. It really is. They don't put you up in a shanty. It's pretty good, and it costs $3 to wash and $3 to dry in the machine down there. And you have to bring your own laundry detergent, of course. So it's not the cheapest wash and dry, but it's convenient because it's right there in the hotel. And I use it, and it worked out just fine. And of course, you want to bring your essentials, um, your toothpaste, body stuff, all your personal hygiene stuff. You got to bring all that stuff. Just normal day-to-day things is what you're going to need, okay? Um, your recruiter is also going to send you a list of things you're going to have, like your driver's license. And you guys are going to listen to me. You guys are going to go get your learner's permit. You're going to go get your medical card. You're going to get all that before you go to class. Okay? Don't go up there and not have those things already. Will they help you get them up there? Of course they will. But the pressure is on. Okay? The pressure is on. Why? Why would you put yourself in a situation like that when you can just, take your time and get them done at the house, man? Why put yourself in that situation? So get all that stuff done before you get there. Okay? My first roommate did not have his medical card. And as it turns out, when on the first day of class, you're going to go get your medical card. And he went to the doctor, the school's doctor there, and they wouldn't give him a medical card. So he's screwed. He had to go to the house. He's done. He ended up having to go home and seeing his doctor and getting some stuff taken care of, then go to a DOT doctor there in his hometown to get a medical card. And he called me in a room and said he finally got a medical card. But now he's got to re-enroll, go back to school, you know? So why? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Why won't you just get these things done before you get there? Eliminate getting all the way out there and then getting sent home. Okay? Why go all the way out there and choke on the permit tests and get sent home? Why? Just get them before you go. Okay? Get them before you go. Okay, so that's some of the things that you're going to bring to school. And make sure you bring your driver's license and your learner's permit. You got to bring them both, okay? And your medical card. You're going to need all three of those every day. Okay. How should you travel in your own car? Okay. Try to drive your own car up there. Is it necessary? It's not necessary. More likely than not, there'll be a student there that has a vehicle. And in the hotel, they don't necessarily have a shuttle bus. The school comes and picks you up in the school's bus every morning. It's not the hotel shuttling you to the school. But the guy who runs the hotel, he has like a minivan, and he'll park a few guys in there and take you to Walmart and back. But he does that at his own whim. And I heard him say one time, I'm tired, I don't feel like going. So he didn't go. So those guys that wanted to go just didn't go. So how you going to travel? You're going to bring your own car if possible, okay? If you can't, then just go ahead and ride the bus and get in and make it work. Permit cards, health card, TWIC card. TWIC card isn't all the way necessary. You can get it if you want to, but I mean, I did. But it's not necessary that you have your TWIC card. Approximately $20 a day. That's going to cover food and little snacks and small essentials along the way. The first day of class, you're going to get lunch, which is some Little Caesars pizza. The hotel doesn't necessarily give you breakfast. They're like little, pastry things. Not pastry. Donut, little small cinnamon rolls, little breakfast bun type of things. So it's not a real meal. And if you don't like a bunch of sweet and sugars and stuff, you're not going to eat that anyways, okay? So there's not like a buffet breakfast there, okay? So you can kind of tide yourself over with that. And then when you get there on your first day, they'll get you the pizza, but you still got to eat dinner. And on the second day, you're going to be responsible for your own lunch and dinner all the way through. And so if you're going to plan to spend $10 per meal, you're going to need $10 a day. $20 a day for the 3 weeks that you're up there. Okay. Watch the pre-trip video. That's the next thing I got on here. There's a guy. He's doing a pre-trip on Swift. He put Swift Transportation pre-trip in there, and it's a guy's got like a little cowboy hat on, I believe, and he's pre-tripping a blue Volvo. He does a really good job. Watch it every day until you can damn near repeat everything he say. Okay. Properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. Properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. Properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. You need to get the verbiage down. And look, one of my subscribers, a lot of these questions, by the way, came from one of my subscribers. It's not a whole lot of you guys yet, but I know you're going to spread the love, okay? But one of my subscribers asked me a series of questions, and I added those questions to my list today. So a lot of this has to do with came from my subscribers. Okay, okay. Um, so the pre-trip stuff. The reason I brought that up because he asked me, my subscriber asked me about homework. What type of homework would you have? And I'm telling you, if you went up there with your uh, permit already, you're not going to have much to do when you get home, when you get back to the hotel, other than sleep and watch TV, okay, and watch the videos again. They're just keeping you updated, okay. And if you learn in the classroom, there really is nothing. Most of the stuff is hands on. What you have to study is the items in the pre-trip and the verbiage in the pre-trip. And later today, I have to go um, help my son. The cab airbags on his Peterbilt, they're busted, so we're gonna replace those. After it's over, I think I'm gonna have him hold the phone, and I'm gonna record myself doing a pre-trip, and you guys will watch mine even, and it's gonna be what you need to get through the exam. Trust me, I aced it, and I'll give you that information. Okay. So until then, look on YouTube and find the guy, Swift Transportation Pre-Trip, and watch his video and over and over and over and over until you learn it. Because when you do that, guys, there's no grades. You don't get graded for anything through the class except to move from one level to the next. Okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, so where we're at, class, by the way. Class starts at 6 a.m. Be in your seat no later than 10 minutes to 6. 5:50, be your buttocks in your seat. Always be a few minutes before the time you're told to be back. That's from breaks, from lunch, and on your way to, before class starts. Be early, not on time, because you're late if you're on time. I'm telling you, if you got a problem with being on time, you got a problem in trucking, okay? Um, go to bed early each night, by the way. And this, you can do whatever you want, but it's going to catch up with you. That sleep catches up with you. And my roommate, my third roommate number 3, he did that. He hung around, played around, and then by the start of his, the end of his first week, shit, he was going to be 8 o'clock. Because, 4:30 in the morning comes pretty quick. School starts at 6. But by the time you get up, clean up, put your clothes on, get ready to leave, it's 5. And remember, you need to be at the school at least in your classroom at least 10 minutes before class time comes. So it comes real quick. Okay? So go to bed on time, man. You're not there to bullshit anyways. Now let's talk about the structure of the classes, okay? We're at 13 minutes now. We're not doing too bad. The structure of the classes. The classes are in like 5 segments, so to speak. So your first segment is not yours because you guys are going to listen to me and do what I'm asking you to do and make your deal a cakewalk. But for those who refuse the wisdom, your first week is going to be getting your permit class, okay? So you go to the first class and they're going to start the first day. You're going to go through, you're going to first have to go to get your drug test. That's number 1 on the first day of school. Drug test, urine. Excuse me, I just finished eating. I'm full. Okay. You're going to have a urine and a hair follicle. Can't get around them. And that's going to eliminate 5 or 6 people out your class already. Trust me. This happens, you know. The 3 weeks I've been there, I watched them walk away. Some of them didn't even get on the bus to go get the hair follicle. They just left. Hey, you got to be ready to get done with all that shit. Okay, so your first day, you're gonna go do that stuff, and you're gonna get your health card. Okay, then you're gonna go back to school, and you're gonna get ready to start on your rules portion of the DMV test. And then the next day, you're gonna move on to general knowledge. Then you're gonna move on the following day to air brakes and what's the other one? Swirl. Okay. And then on Thursday, you're gonna go to the DMV and take all 4 sections. If you pass, you're good. If you do not pass, you got to go back on Friday and take them again. If you don't pass, you're going home. So get it done before you get there. So let's say you did, and you and your roommate started together, okay? But your roommate didn't have his. He's going to go to permit class, and you're going to go straight to week 2 stuff. Okay, so you just stepped ahead of the game. So week 2, you're gonna do mapping, and you still on your first day. Still, everybody on their first day is gonna go get the hair follicle and the P test. Everybody in the physical, everybody does that. Unless you already got the physical, you're still gonna do the hair follicle. Okay. So, anyways, you're gonna do mapping, and you're gonna do the books for the log books. You're gonna learn that stuff. So the rest of the week, that's what you do. You can follow the other videos, watch them, and they're gonna tell you what we did each day, so to speak. You know, some of them I had to skip because I didn't want to disturb my roommate. Okay, so follow those. It's going to tell you what we did day to day, pretty much. Okay, the second week, you're going to do your backing, and again, backing, guys and gals. Do not let the lies make you believe that backing is such a horrible thing. You're gonna get it. Trust me. It's not hard. It's not hard. You'll be cool with that. Okay. After the backing, the 4th section is shifting, and what happens is they're gonna keep you on this little shifting pad. Is what they call it. It's a stretch of feeder road, 45 feeder road on both sides, where they teach you how to shift. You're gonna start in 4th gear, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and then 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, and then 5th, 6th, so all the way back up to 8th, and then back to 4th, then up to 8th, and back to 4th. And you're gonna have some turns. You're gonna have to turn to go over the freeway, over the 45, and so you're gonna learn to make some turns. Okay, not like in town, which is, excuse me, I know I keep burping, guys. I've just finished eating. I pigged out because I'm home now, and I got some me food. Okay, all right. So after shifting is the next phase, which is the road driving, where they take you into town. Again, look at my videos, the other videos. I talk about that stuff, let you know what we did day to day. Okay, and you have to go phase by phase. You don't skip anything because it all kind of feeds into the next section. Okay, so once you're done with the shifting and driving, that would conclude the last week, that 3rd week. Okay, and on Thursday and Friday are test days. If you feel like you're ready, you can test on Thursday. If not, you test on Friday. And you can watch the videos that talk to you about that also, okay? So, now for some other questions that my subscriber asked. I was asked, what happens if you fail the the test. Um, so if you fail the um, permit class test twice, Friday you go home. If you fail the hair follicle test, you go home. If you make it all the way through the end of school and you end up in the DMV test for your driving, we're going to talk about that. We're at 20 minutes, so we're not doing it too terribly bad. Okay, but the DMV test is in a couple of sections. Okay, and I'm gonna set this thing down so I don't run out of juice with that. Okay, let's talk about the DMV test, and I'm sure that that's what my subscriber was talking about. What happens if you fail that? So let's talk about that test. That test, um, that just like all other big schools like that, big mega companies, mega shippers that have their own school, some of the instructors there are certified by the state to be third party testers. That's the reason that you don't have to wait, a month or 2 months trying to get yourself in the DMV to get your test done. That's why they can get you tested right away. It's because they are the testers. Okay, so you're going to go through school and you're going to be in groups, and they're going to keep you in those groups. The same three guys that girls that you're in a truck with, you're going to stay with that group because the instructors that are teaching you the process from beginning to end, they have to be excluded from a tester. They can't test you if they taught you. Okay, so that's how it works. All right. So if you're wondering how could they get you to there, that's how they can get you to test. A portion of the grounds at the school is state grounds. State owns a portion of that, and that's where you do the driving portion. Okay. So to do a pre-trip in completion takes about 45 minutes. So the way the test is handled is the first part of the test is the pre-trip, and they have 4 cards. Those cards going to be shuffled in front of you and laid down flat in front of you, and you choose one. They pick it up and reveal to you if it's A, B, C, or D. If it's A, you're going to do the A portion of the test, which is from the front bumper to the front door jamb. So that's like the hood and the engine compartment. If you get B, it picks up from there, from the door jamb in front of the mirror, and then to the back of the back of the tractor tires. Okay. If you get C, C is the trailer. If you get D, lucky you, you get to do the whole thing. Okay, but in each one of those, you have to do the coupling system. Now, you're gonna call it for the last and final time fifth wheel. When you get to school, we don't call it fifth wheel anymore. It's called a coupling system. And if you don't call it the coupling system, then you didn't name it properly, and you're gonna miss all of those points. I don't care if you call skid plate and platform and sliding rail and mounting plate. I just told you what the parts were. Okay, my mounting plate, Mr. Inspector, I'm checking my coupling system to make sure everything is properly mounted and secured. They're not broke, loose, or missing. They have bolts, and to make sure all those bolts are tight. If they're not, no bolts missing. Everything is properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. I'm inspecting my coupling system, my skid plate, my platform, my slide rail, and my mounting plate is all properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing. There's no bolts loose or missing on my coupling system. that is done. You just made a 100 on the coupling system. You're going to do that on, no matter if you get A, B, C, or D, okay? If you got the trailer, you're going to do the coupling system. If you got the engine compartment, A, like I got, you still got to do the coupling system, okay? So, that's the pre-trip part. So once you get past the pre-trip part, you're going to let him know that you're done with the pre-trip. And then, or her, whoever's doing your testing. First off, let me go ahead and get past this, okay? I might say, guys, okay? If you're a female and you're watching this and you got a, you're starting to get a, I would say boner, but you're a girl. If you got a problem with me saying guys, I'm including you in that, okay? I don't want to have to keep on being politically correct, because I'm kind of not a real good politically correct guy. Right now I'm being serious because I want to help you get through this. But after we get through it, we're going to have some fun, because I'm actually, damn near a stand-up comic. I can crack a joke. But this is serious. You have to get your CDL before you can get into trucking, okay? So I'm just being straight up. But I am definitely not a politically correct guy. So if I slip and say guys and don't say gals, don't be, I'm mad. I don't want to hear that, okay? I'm just trying to give you some information. So when you get finished with the pre-trip portion of it, you say, okay, I'm done with pre-trip. And he said, okay, well, let's go ahead and move to in-cab. And then you get into the cab of the truck. He gets in the cab of the truck. And then you're going to start with all of that verbiage that they have listed in the booklet that they're going to give you. They're going to give you this booklet. It's got like 3 pages of in-cab stuff. And you're going to say, how am I going to learn all this? And it's not hard. I'm going to go through it. And then you'll see that it's not. And I'll teach you how to group stuff together. Like I grouped that coupling system. I said at the beginning, properly mounted, I'm checking my coupling system. I'm checking to make sure that it's all properly mounted and secured, not broke, loose, or missing, that there's no bolts, or nuts, or washers that are loose. And then name the parts: skid plate, platform, sliding rail, mounting plate. Say it all real quick, and then say it again. They're all properly mounted, secured, not broke, loose, missing, with no missing loose bolts. Done. You're done. And the section where that's written in a book is like this. I mean, boom, that's like that, like my head, boom. Okay. So it's not hard. Just learn to group the stuff, and I'm going to show you. You're going to group brake stuff. You're going to group your power your suspension. You're going to group your steering, and when you get ready to say it, you're just going to say mounted, secured, not broke, loose, or missing one time, and you're going to get all that stuff covered and move on to the next one. So you don't say one item. This is my pitman arm. My pitman arm's not broke, loose, or missing. It's properly mounted and secured. This ain't got no missing bolts. This here is my steering box. My steering box, properly mounted and secured. It's not broke, loose, or missing. It's right there. This is my power steering pump. My power steering pump. You're already getting bored, aren't you? See? My power steering pump is properly mounted and secured. It's not broke, it's not loose, it's definitely ain't missing, it's right there. This here is my, and you just failed. You just failed because you didn't say that component wasn't leaking because it has fluid running through it. All because the rhythm that you were in, you broke everything up in little bitty sections, and it's easy to forget stuff when you do it that way. So we're going to show you how to do a pre-trip. I'm going to show you how to get through it and ace it, okay? All right, so you're going to get in the truck, and you're going to do the in-cab. And in-cab is all the windshields and the mirrors and the fire extinguisher and the reflective triangles, the fuses, all of that stuff, and you're going to go through it, okay? And when you're done and you covered all those things, you're going to say, at this point, I want to get started with my air brake test. Okay, so now we're on number 3, the air brake. Okay, and yeah, my fingernails are kind of dirty. I came home and my daughter's car needed a thermostat, so yeah, you come home and go straight to work. Okay, I actually came home and I cooked a big old fat dinner last night, and then got up this morning and I went to the DMV and got my CDL license. And I talked to you all about taking my test for the endorsements. I will do that tomorrow, and I'll talk to you about that tomorrow. Okay? So that's why my fingernails are dirty. I'm not a nasty person. So, anyways, you're gonna say it's time to do the air brake test, and then you're gonna do the air brake test. Okay? When you're done with the air brake test, you will start with the backing. He's gonna instruct you. She's gonna instruct you. You're gonna go to the straight line. You're gonna do an offset, and you're gonna do a parallel, and you're gonna do just like you did it, 30 other times at the school. Okay, because they're gonna give you a lot of time to practice. So when you get done with that, you're gonna go to the next phase, which is road driving, and then you're gonna go out. You're gonna drive straight with the inspector in the car with you. And when you're done, you're gonna pull in, and right when you get into the school, he's going to say, stop here, let me change seats with you. And you're going to change seats with you, and he's going to go park his truck, and he's going to say, congratulations, you are out of here. Okay? So that's all the test. So now that you understand the test, I can explain to you, I can answer the question. I want to give you a lot of information. That way, when I answer the question, no matter where you're at, you'll know what happens next, okay? So the question was, what happens if you fail a test? Okay, first you're going to do the pre-trip. If you fail the pre-trip, you come back the next day and you start over again with pre-trip. Let's say on the first day you do the pre-trip, bang it out. You'd go to the in-cab, bang it out. Pow. You go to the air brake test. You screw up the air brake test. That sucks for you. So when you come back the next day, you start at air brakes and you do the air brake test and you move forward. Okay? So you did the air brake. Perfect. You started the backing and you did straight back like a mug. You did offset like a mug, and knocked every cone over that's in the parking lot when you tried to do your parallel. You just, farted or burped or something, and next thing you know, you launched the truck. I don't know. But anyway, you screwed up on parallel. You're going to come back the next day, and you're going to start the backing section. So you're going to start with straight line first. Even though you already did straight line, you got it right. You're still going to do all the backing maneuvers. And then you're going to pass it, and you're going to go road testing. Okay? So let's say you got all 3 of those sections perfect, and on the road test, you did this guy thing, and you screw up the road test. You're going to come back, and you're going to retest for the part you failed, like I did. Now, you must have, before you can retest, you must have some instruction. So that weekend, instead of going home, you're gonna be at the school, and you're gonna work on what you screwed up. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. Let's say this happens. You got through your pre-trip and you failed the air brake. So you stayed and you did the air brake. You worked over the weekend and you got the air brake down now. bam. So on Monday you test again. You starting that air brake, okay? And you bang out the air brake, and now it's time to go to the backing. And you know, in one of the backing procedures, you coughed, farted, threw up, nervousness. I don't know, but you screwed up on the backing and you failed. The next day, you're going to be working with somebody on your Tuesday. You're going to be working with somebody on your backing, and then on Wednesday you'll test, and hopefully you get through the backing. Okay, so they say congratulations, you're done with the backing. Here we go. Let's get on this road test, and you get on the road test, and you start going down a downgrade and in the wrong gear or in between gears, and you end up picking up too much speed, so you can't get that lower gear, and you fail the driving test. Shame on you. Thursday you're gonna ride and practice that, and Friday you're gonna drive again and you're gonna ace it. So that should answer your question. What happens if you fail? They don't give up on you. They don't send you home. They work with you. I know that there are some people that's been there for a little bit of time, and I don't divulge into other people's situations, so I don't know how long they were there. I just know that it was there when I got there, and it was there when I left, and they had been there for quite a while before I showed up. But the school didn't give up on them, and they're trying to help them. And that was a guy that had been there for. He had come, left, came back again, left, and was back in our class. And I don't it the way he spoke about it. If you put the timelines together, it's almost like 6 months of him coming and going, though, okay? Meaning he would leave for whatever reason, and then he came back, and he did some more sections, and then he left again. But when he came and joined us, it was in backing. And that somebody he could have backed all the way up to the street, man. He'd have backed it up sideways, but he'd have got it to the street somehow. And he finally figured out, you know what? I can't drive these trucks. And he left. But the school was trying to teach him. They were trying to help you. They're there to help you become successful, but you got to be able to drive the truck. Okay? So let me see if I can get back online here. The pre-trip procedures, he asked me about that. I answered with that long verbiage there. How many opportunities? We talked about that. Why didn't I know the maneuvers? Remember in that video I told y'all I didn't know what to do when I came to that blind road. There was a road, and okay, this is you, and this is the cross street. Okay, so if you're coming this way, you couldn't see a car back here, right? Because the road is going down this way, so you can't see. That's blind, okay? And that's where I screwed up. I didn't know how to do that, okay? What's supposed to happen is you're gonna drive your truck to that intersection, okay? And then you're gonna turn your cab and roll that way until you can see down that road. Then you turn on and go out, okay? So that's how you do it. But why didn't I know that? It's because my instructor didn't go over that with us. There was a bug going around, and he was quite ill most of the time that he was in a truck with us. And we basically got like 2 shots apiece driving downtown. And we didn't even go that route, and he just didn't show us a lot of stuff. And I don't, fault him for it. I had to go that route because my instructor wanted me to pull over because I had already failed the test, okay? But all the other teachers had gone that way, and I'm sure that mine would have gone that way if he hadn't been under the weather. And there was a bug going around, bad. which gives me to the next thing. If you're gonna go anytime soon, take a flu shot first before you go. Make sure your health is good. Make sure you're not feeling sick, because you're gonna be around a lot of people, and you're gonna be in the cab of that truck. And if somebody got a bug, they're gonna give it to you. And some people came up sick. Okay, so the reason I didn't know it is because we didn't practice it, and I don't know how to drive these trucks yet. Okay, so I didn't know it, and it caught me. But what failed me, I did know. By the way, so we're not going to blame it on the instructor. The part that failed me the first time, I knew how to drive that truck. I could drive. I can drive it well enough to pass the DMV test, because I smoked it when I went back. I just brain farted. Okay, had nothing to do with the instructor. I brain farted. I screwed that up, and I had to come back to clean it up, and I did. I made it work. Okay, we're at 40 minutes now, so I'm gonna try to wrap it up. Let me see. Do you go home? Okay. When do you go home? After your second week. That means after the backing part, you'll get, unless something weird's going on, you'll get an opportunity to go home on a Friday, Saturday. Then you're going to come back and do the driving, shifting thing and take your DMV test that last week. So you'll have a little bit of time to have to yourself if you're not going to go home, to kind of catch up with things, and do catch up with them. Okay. What's the success rate at the school? About 50% is about what I saw. Okay. But I'm going to do another video. That video is going to be on why I believe the vast majority of what you see on YouTube are Swift haters. Why I think that is the case. And I want to save the answer beyond 50% of success rate. I'm going to save that answer for that video. I think it might be a tomorrow's video. And it's going to be a little bit of a rant. And it's not going to be scripted. It's just what I believe. Because I got to tell you, the period of time that I spent at that school, I saw absolutely no reason why anybody should hate on those instructors or Swift Transportation's training processes in Corsicana, Texas. I don't know about the rest of them. I didn't go to the rest of them. I can't tell you about the rest of them. All I can tell you is the staff that works at Corsicana Swift Training in Corsicana, Texas, they got a smooth running, smooth oiled machine over there. They get you in, they get you out. They do it every day. They got it down, man. And these people want you to pass. They'll spend the time with you to help you get it. They want you to be successful. Okay? So I just don't see a damn thing wrong with it. If I had to do it again, I would do it again right there. Thank God I ain't got to do it again. Okay? So I hope I gave you guys enough information in damn near 45 minutes. If I didn't, drop me some notes at the comment section down there, and what I'll do is add them, and I'll talk about them before my rant on why there's a 50% success rate and why I think people hate on Swift Transportation. So please, guys, take a moment. The subscribe button, please. Thank you. The notification bell. Okay. Thank you. See that right there? About that for me? Thank you. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I hope I answered enough questions for you. As usual,